Hello, welcome to Lovely Job Live. I'm Leah Spicer Pownell, I'm the marketing manager of Miss Bush, and this is...
I'm Emma Marshall, I am the MD of Miss Bush. We're really excited today to invite you to the chapel to ask the questions that you normally DM us when you're having a frantic moment on a Sunday night. So ask them in person with a cocktail in your hand, and then really show you our home, welcome some of our favourite wedding suppliers, inspire you hopefully with some wedding fashion ideas for mothers, bridesmaids, and talk to people about the kind of trigger areas of hair and makeup for bridal, as well as skincare, all in a very kind of cool, non-judgmental, very lovely job fashion. Looking forward to it. Quite soon you'll see me with a cocktail in my hand, probably hear me with a cocktail in my voice as well, and I'm really looking forward to showing it all to you. So do you want to join me? Let's go in.
Everybody's saying that they like my style. Wanna know how I do it? I smile. While you were out there saying hey, hi, hello, I was getting dressed up in shades of yellow.
Do not break anything. Thank you very much. Yes, welcome to my son, the actor.
Hi everyone, welcome to Miss Bush and for the first Lovely Job Live.
I know, right?
Very exciting. So, as you all know...
Next stop, the Albert Hall, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, Lovely Job is Emma and Leah, who is hiding up there, but she needs a special mention. And we're really delighted to have you all here today to go through Bridesmaids and Mother of the Bride's dressing, as well as obviously your own bridal styling and how to kind of combine the whole load together. So we've got an amazing panel here of fashion partners. So we've got Sinclair from Maids to Measure and Sarah and Virginia from Suzannah London. Emma will go through all of that use of questions and all of that. I'm definitely not that person for style advice, as you can tell in the difference in our outfits.
Oh no, literally, it's very painful in my outfit though. Do you know what I mean?
Painful in mine as well. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to just say thank you for coming and for, I think, selling out probably the fastest event we've ever sold out. It was really special. So thank you. And I wanted to just give a shout out to all our brilliant partners that we've got on board tonight that have helped make it all come together, because they're all very special and they all hold a special place in Bush's heart, and they all have some amazing things for you tonight. So firstly, I'd like to raise your glasses to the drunken jockeys, who are our fantastic bar boys in the corner. They've been expertly shaking and serving your delicious drinks tonight. They are a multi-award-winning mobile bar company, kind of doing events, weddings, you name it, they do it. And I think you can probably tell by the drinks you've had tonight, they are very special indeed. So we're very grateful to them for coming and serving you all these delicious drinks. Then there's Gusbourne, so I'm sure all of you have enjoyed a glass of their Blanc de Blanc tonight. They are Bush's official wine partner. So they are, again, an award-winning English sparkling wine producer. They have vineyards in Kent and West Sussex, and they are lauded, really. They won the 2024 Gold Decanter Award. I think it was Alice.
They are the most awarded English sparkling wine producer. Can I just say, we did the tasting notes. I'm literally we're down there on that. And I'm sure anyone that listens, absolutely. And I'm sure anyone that listens to the podcast, I literally threw Charlie under the bus when she was like, do you want some fizzy wine? I'm like, no. It's not fizzy wine. It's England's most awarded, like south facing, whatever, chalk. But yeah, it's really good. So we're very pleased that they're our partners.
They also have an exclusive partnership with them. So if you are interested in having Gusbourne served at your wedding or event, just get in touch, because we have an exclusive rate for Bush brides. Next, I would like to thank Doggett and Squash. I don't know if Claire and her wonderful team are in here, but they have been serving you your delicious canapes this evening. Doggett and Squash are an events and catering collective who have done a whole host of Bush weddings, so we're delighted to finally have them in the chapel working collaboratively with us. They really do some of the most spectacular events, really seriously Pinterest and Instagram worthy, so we're very grateful to have them here tonight. And on the topic of food, a big thank you to Holly King, who has very kindly provided us with the caviar for this evening. So Holly is a Bush bride, and her family own King's Time Foods, who are the biggest importers of caviar, and it was delicious. So a huge thank you to Holly and her family for providing that. our fashion partners, Maids and Mother and Suzannah London, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm going to let Emma do the deep dive and let them sell themselves to you. But thank you so much for being here and dressing our beautiful models and having your beautiful dresses on display. We're very, very grateful to have you here as well. We know there's a huge synergy between the brands, so it's really delightful to have you. To our gifting partner, Gigi and Olive, so you'll see their beautiful bridal and hen party gifting wares around the chapel. Again, a huge crossover, Bush Brides with Gigi and Olive, so we're really excited to have them in the chapel today.
Yeah, don't leave without your goodie bags, just FYI, because there may be some swag from Gigi and Olive in there as well.
Yeah,
so
goodie bags are probably some of the best goodie bags we've put together.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some amazing stuff in there and also some amazing exclusive Bush Bride discounts in there. So make sure you don't sort of get rid of all the paperwork, really read it, because there's some really, really good offers in there to people.
I know, it's really bad. We get a goodie bag and you're like, shake it all out. I don't want the marketing material. I want the real stuff. I want yeah, absolutely. But
yeah, so all of our partners have been incredibly generous tonight. So yeah, a big thank you to them for that as well. To our beauty partners, we hope you all had a chance to go down into the beauty room and chat through all things hair, makeup and holistic facials. Some really beautiful tips there from people that really understand what it feels like to be a bride or mother of a bride or bridesmaid in the run-up to a life event, and making yourself feel your best without feeling the need to change yourself. So,
and also they were very good in the whole, like, can you just make it quick? I don't want to look pretty or don't make me look young. Just get me some eyeliner on and let me get out of there as quick as possible. So they're also very down for having that conversation. So you don't have to make it your life's work having your beauty, but sometimes it is nice to have a bit of eyeshadow and kind of mascara put on by somebody else.
I mean, Lauren transformed my hair in about 0.2 seconds. I was like, I left the house at whatever o'clock this morning with wet hair and I forgot my colours. So can you just do something? And she did it in about 5 minutes.
She made me look less like the Blackadder as well, which I thought was quite good. So, but I'm quite liking my new haircut. It was quite definitely sharp around the edges. So yeah, the Blackadder thing was softened out on there.
So there we go. That's something to add to a CV there.
Yeah, I looked less like Blackadder after a moment in the chair. I know, but I think that's important though, right? Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Very important indeed. And then there was Laura, who was doing all of our beautiful kind of talking about her beautiful facials. And I know that some of you have entered to win a competition for a complimentary facial. So we will be announcing that at the end of the night. To Charlotte from Frank Lane Flowers, thank you so much for dressing the chapel so beautifully. I don't know where you are, but oh, she's there. This amazing woman has been up since 4 a.m. this morning and has produced all of these florals single-handedly today. So just thank you, because the chapel is a very special place, but what you have done has elevated it to a whole new level. So we're so grateful. Thank you so much.
Can I also just say, she's also rehabbed the gerbera. Something I wasn't ever thought I'd ever say. So much like the pointy waist and the puff sleeve, the gerbera has entered the building. And I don't hate that for me either. So just saying the gerbera has a new friend and we're all right with her being in here. So yeah, it's like gerbera.
Very, very inclusive.
Gerbera rehab has happened. Although the minute the necks put it in a box frame, we are sending it back. Do you know what I mean?
To our DJ Simon, who has been sort of upstairs doing
behind some plants.
Yeah, behind a whole load of plants. Thank you, Simon. Simon is part of Mizzocchi Music, who provide all sorts of different types of music for your events, whether that's a DJ, whether it's a live band. They have everything. So if you are still looking for music, then it's definitely worth checking them out. And finally, to our photography team. So we had the brilliant Wojtek, who was here pre-event, taking all of our pre-event photos. We have the wonderful Greg, who is here documenting us all tonight. And we also have the brilliant Boomerang booth, who I really hope you've all been in here. If you haven't, don't be shy, because it is brilliant. And the filter and the light does something magical to your face, where you feel like superstar.
And also, we would love to have you all on our reels. So please get on there and let's do a reel/TikTok for us for that as well. So that's good.
So I think that's everyone. I really hope I was the top beautiful models, obviously, Chloe and Charlotte, who are gracing the walls of the chapel again, looking fantastic. They're going to be here bridesmaids dresses, and we're going to change them quickly into some mother of bride looks too, so you can get an idea.
Yes, I mean, you can. Well, I don't know where home team is, but we can just start with them in this. I will just go through a little bit more with Sinclair about the kind of what Maids to Measure is about and how they started it. But I just want to like look at Chloe today in the kind of neck scarf like thing, which is very much what we're putting in a lot of brides dresses for like a second look. So that whole like, oh, I've just taken off my lace jacket and now I just need a casual accessory for the evening. The neck scarf is definitely the way to go. It's giving a little bit of Studio 54, not going to lie. But I do love that look. So I think that is
It does come in champagne, I may just say.
oh, hush, does it? Yeah, like literally, can we just say, so like if I think I'd go for the more flattering navy blue, but yeah, no, it's literally that whole look is just really fun, I think, for your bridesmaids. If you wanted a quite sophisticated, like grown up look, yeah, I think it's a lovely look. For you. And your dresses all come like, so you can do all the different styles in all the different colours. So for me, I'd have one very high up boob and one very low down boob if I was wearing that dress. So like it's great for someone with a slightly smaller bust. But I'd probably be more in the next one with a bra with 2 straps. So you can do them in both the same colour as well, just to let you know on that one. So yeah, it's really, really flexible. So I'm just going to like take a moment. So while all of you formulate your really, really good questions, I want like full like kind of question time questions about bridesmaids dresses. I'm just gonna like get Sinclair to tell us a little bit about Maids to Measure, because like I feel like you're the only really well-known bridesmaids company in the UK.
Oh, thank for you to say that. Thank you very much.
Like literally is there
Emma just told me her advice to people is don't have bridesmaids.
Yeah. no, what I said was, did you like just like caveating, like talking about bridesmaids, and said, do you listen to our bridesmaids episode? She goes, no. No, and that's like my first advice was don't ask anyone before was someone engaged, ask you to get married. Don't say nothing. Sit on your hands. Don't ask anyone, because like before you know it, in a fit of emotional kind of like you've invited 10 people to be your bridesmaids.
I even did that.
Yeah, so don't do that. So like think about it quietly for a moment before you start inviting. And then, as I say, then obviously if you really are committed to having bridesmaids, then think of it as an investment. It's really important. And I don't want to get very Meghan. Like a lot of the criticisms of Meghan's kind of like Netflix show is she goes, it's all about honouring and everything's very religious. And I was like, I don't want to say, oh, you want to honour your friends, but you've got to at least respect your friends enough to dress them nicely. So I would just say, if you're like, shit, I'm doing this on a budget, I'm like, maybe don't ask 10 people to be your bridesmaids, is all I'm saying. So that's what I would say is don't be Meghan, but also don't be, I don't want to say honour, but I would literally respect like your friends well enough to kind of like put them in something that's lovely.
Well, this is how it really all came about, because 15 years ago, I was a bridesmaid quite a few times, and I was like, there are no British bridesmaid brands. They're all big American companies. They're all being made in China or wherever. And I'm like, why are there no British brands? So my sister, who was working at Vera Wang at the time, said, I've asked recommendations all the time, and there is no one that I can recommend. So we put our heads together, and that is how Maids to Measure actually started, when we're like, we want girls to have lovely dresses, kind of classic, but with you want them to have like a fashionable edge. So that is literally the start. And we always said we are the original British bridesmaid brand, because when we started there was no one else. Obviously now people have come, they have jumped on the bandwagon, people do. But I still feel people do it as a side thing, whereas I feel we just do bridesmaids. That's what we specialise in, that's what we know, and really perfect. Like we put so much research and care into the fabrics, the styles. So the concept is really, obviously you can do whatever you want, but the girls tend to come into us and say, right, this is the colour that I want, girls, pick your dresses. And we've designed them so they all pick up features of each other. We feel that they truly do mix and match within each other. We've obviously got only a tiny selection here, and there are exceptions to the rule, but most come in every colour. And like I say, you can mix and match within the collection. This is our satin, which notoriously sometimes people are like, oh God, satin, but it's a matte satin. I don't know if you felt, but it's a very heavy satin. It's not that awful shiny satin. And then I was talking to someone earlier, it's a little detail, our dresses are particularly long, but you can get a dress taken up. And there's nothing worse than I feel dresses that swing around the ankle. I think you can really tell. And it's all those little like covered buttons, all the little bits and pieces, that I think set us apart. And I know I'm biased, but I truly do think we are the best. Best bridesmaids. Weirdly, most people I've spoken to have already either been to see us or coming to see us, which is so nice. Thank you, because it's been a long journey. I set it up with my sister, and as you know, it's been it's definitely been a journey.
And also
a lot of people have come and gone.
Yeah, they have. And also, I just to throw some lovely job shade onto the event as well. I've always noticed how people like to put a bridesmaid's dressing range just before they go out of business. Hello, Debenhams. Hello, Coast. Do you know what I mean? There is that kind of it's like, oh, I don't know what to do with it, stuff now. And they're like, LK Bennett, Debenhams, Coast. They all decide to throw their hat into the ring with bridesmaids as an adjunct to what they actually should be doing, which is their core business. So I think to have someone think about bridesmaids as their absolute focus, I think is really important as well. That's why we don't do them, because nobody wanted my advice. It was far too strong. So it was like, I was like, don't match your bridesmaids to your napkins. Do you know, that was something some people didn't want to hear, really. So I think it's brilliant to work with a company that know who they are and what they're about, and they are laser focused on that thing.
Said, well, why don't you do bridal? Why don't you add in mother of the bride? And we're like, no, we know what we do well, and that's what we continue doing.
And so a couple of people have asked me today, colour directions. Yeah. So they were saying that they've seen a lot of sage green at weddings last. So where are your colour predictions going for the new season? What can people choose that they haven't seen at loads of other weddings, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I said this time earlier, I feel we're always one step ahead. So last year our wild card was a yellow, for example. We were the only people doing yellow, and I feel now everyone's bringing yellow out. So our wild card for this year is peach. So
I love a peach.
And actually, with the peaches and creams, I'm really gunning for the peach. For our new collection of colours are quite strong. They're the peach. We've got the orchid, which is not crazy, but it is quite a strong pink for bridesmaids. Cornflower blue is our new blue, but again, it's a beautiful blue, but slightly stronger than our blue last year, which was the pale blue. And the peach, which is our kind of standard. And we're bringing in chocolate brown for September.
Marshy, wherever he is, I love that, matching his vintage Cortina. But I also think peach is one of those colours. It's a bit like a puff sleeve or a V pointy waist. It was ready to come back, like the gerbera. It was ready for a revamp. So I think it's always good to reintegrate a colour.
So the year before yellow, it was lilac, and I just feel that people, are frightened of it, and then it comes back and it's amazing. With the more modern styles, I think I love it.
Yeah. I think people are generally. This is why people, when you listen to them, ask. I don't know if Charlotte would agree, but I think people are quite scared about flowers and colour in general, making a misstep, so they will go safe. And then sometimes it's lovely, but it's quite quiet. So and it also I mean, I think the most amazing thing about modern day bridal is you can do exactly what you like, and no one cares. No. But I think if you want to have something smart and you want to put your bridesmaids in different, in a pastel, in a range of colours that feel comfortable. They're not aggressive. And if you're in a kind of a traditional setting, in a countryside setting, in a barn, a castle, a church, you really sometimes fluorescent green wouldn't look that amazing in there. That's why, Farrow and Ball don't have fluorescent green on their colour chart. Sometimes those comfortable Northern European colours just feel better in a wedding setting in the UK. Whereas if you were going to Vegas, then have all the neon green you want, basically.
I mean, we've got our traditional colours.
What's traditional?
I think the sage.
Sage.
The sage and the pale blue and the pale pink and the champagne we have all year round. So
okay.
we have all our core colours. Every dress comes in it, and we never get rid of it. It just, as it goes, it comes back. And then every year we try and bring a few not wild cards,
Are you ever bringing back Cadbury's purple? That's a rehab job to go. I don't know how to say that. No.
I'm not a purple girl, so it's hard for me. And sometimes we do have to What's good is I set up Maids with my sister, and we're very different in our tastes and our style. She's cool, and I'm not I like the more girly thing. And
I feel like she's very much on your Instagram, and you're not.
Well, I'll tell you why, because we've been told we have to. And,
Oh, really?
And even for her, it's really painful. And
I think she's rocking it.
She's doing well, but that's really out of her comfort zone. So
Is it?
I'm sorry if the whole Instagram's over my sister, but she is being made to do that. And actually, it has made a massive difference. So I'm like, keep going into
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, anyway, she's just had a baby, so that's why she's not here this evening. So, but yeah, so my point was we're quite good because when we design and pick colours, we come from different angles.
Yeah. So, okay, like everyone now has got their questions prepared. So I'm going to expect to see a show of hands now for somebody who wants to ask a question. Yay, go, Furrow.
So context, I've got 4 bridesmaids, all very different. Here, stunning. Brunette, ginger, blonde, tall, short. I'm going to go possibly blue.
Yeah.
Same colour but different styles. Question is, how important is it for them to like match the dress?
Match
Or match
your dress?
my style, my dress? And if tips to match it, or if it's not important, it's not important. So I want to kind of value that.
What's really weird is some brides come in and they want their bridesmaids to mirror their dress. Some, it horrifies them the thought that it's anything like it in it. So it's really, I feel, real down to you how you want. You've got to envisage the pictures. I think it's always nice if it kind of if yours is a classic dress, then the dresses more have a classic vibe. But in fact, in terms of kind of mirroring or how similar, I think you're the only one that can decide how you want that to kind of go.
My thing is like neutral backing singers. Like I think you need, and I just want to kind of like stop myself giving the Megan kind of vocabulary here, but I think you need to respect each one of the girls individually, but I think they don't need to be the like star of the show. I'm trying to think of what happens. Like, you know, when royals go to a wedding, they wear something they've worn before so they don't overshare like that vibe. They're not that important. Do you know what I mean? And also the other thing that I said on my Bridesmaids episode that you didn't listen to, which is fine because she's never listened to any podcast ever. So that's fine. So like, this is not, it's not a slur. It's the fact that they've also got a job to do. You know, they do need to look lovely in photos, but they've also got to like, you know, just now I went for a wee. And there was no toilet roll in our toilet, in the staff toilet. I was like, somebody had to handily roll in. So your bridesmaid might have to be in the toilet with you. They might have to pick up your train. You might be feeling like you're going to cry. They're going to have to bring you. What they don't need to be doing is worrying about how tight their Spanx are, whether or not their top arm is showing. They need to be in something that is like neutrally fabulous for them, in a colour that kind of picks up the vibe of the wedding, but they doesn't need to be a fashion moment for them. They shouldn't pull focus from the bride, in my opinion. They should look subtly beautiful next to you and not like, don't overthink it. Do you know what I mean? That's why
we always encourage people to book an appointment with us so they can have a massive trying on session and try lots of different styles. And you can tell the minute they feel comfortable, don't you? They come out and you can tell straight away. So I think a good trying, what they think they might like is probably be very different from when they try.
Yeah, because they've got a job to do. They can't be holding their boobs in and their stomach in all day. They have got stuff to do. I'd be like here, like drawstring sack. Go, bridesmaid. You know what I mean? So I'm obviously like, yeah, I'd like to look quite hot because, you know, like the whole 4 weddings and a funeral thing. This is where I'm most likely to meet my husband, as being a bridesmaid. So obviously you need to look slightly hot, but not like, not functioning hot.
Functioning hot.
I was like, I'm functioning hot, like I feel in these heels right now, which is definitely not. There's something hot, and there's most of the burning pain in the balls of my feet. Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of like what I would say as well, is just keep them comfortable, and they're definitely like, you know, backing singers. So, and comfortably neutral. And as I say, like that.
And I do think with our dresses, there's something for everyone. There's bra-friendly ones, or there's open back ones. There's some cut on the bias. There's some with a full circular skirt. There's something for everyone. So there's no reason why each girl wouldn't try something.
Have I got a Team Bush member around anywhere? Team Bush. Why did we like now they've been standing there in these two for a while? Should we just pop them in a couple of other dresses and a couple of other styles, just so we can just get a different vibe? So we've done. I feel like this is looks quite vintage. This is extremely glamorous. So we'll just get while we're all taking the second question, which is well done, everybody. I saw more than one hand up, so I'm very excited about this. And also, I've got a mic on here as well. So in theory, Leah should be able to edit this together as an actual podcast. So this is
my best behaviour.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I've already sworn though, right? Oh, it's bound to happen. Yeah. So, second question, anyone? Yes, go.
I just wanted to ask, so for the dresses that aren't bra friendly, what do you suggest if they do still want to have some sort of coverage?
Well, there's either obviously the daisy, one of the models had
Nipple daisies, yeah.
Or you can get now, you know, like the cups that actually then
Perky pairs.
Is that what they called?
Yeah, they're like the tape.
I think I would say there's so many options now of different bras and there's something for every shape of dress. So I feel like if they love the dress, there is a solution out there.
There is. I just kind of as a boob person, like, you know, like this is like my specialist subject. I would just say though that people come in these days with, you know, and I include my own daughter in this, with very comfortable bras, and they're very fine with a lower bust line. And all I would say is wedding dress stuff is formal. So like wedding party stuff is quite formal. So what we all think is fine normally, so a sort of comfy kind of like, you know, like a bra top as opposed to an actual like a sports bra or something that just gives enough support to be comfortable. Once you put it into the arena of formal wear, can look a bit shit. Do you know? And I know this is bad, and I know like obviously this is now going to go out on the internet if it records okay. But you know, like the high bust line, i.e. a bra with two straps and an underwire, is something that looks what we all understand to be formal wear. And it would be like a soldier being in something with a relaxed fit trouser or like a drop something. It's like you wouldn't see it. It doesn't feel like the formal wear that you get to know. Do you know what I mean? And I think the problem is with the kind of like, on the one hand, I've got this conflicted brain. It's like, oh, just be really comfortable, just wear your bra top, whatever, it's fine. And the other time, it's like the dresses are cut for a high bust line and a waist that's defined, and that is what we know in our DNA that formal wear looks like. And whether that's right or wrong, whether in 20 or 30 years' time we'll all be like, I can't believe people did anything other than wear a trainer, which is what I'm thinking right now. Why am I wearing these shoes? But I think that's what we expect formal wear to look like. And I've spoken to a couple of mums tonight and they're like, I don't know how I'm going to get through the wedding day in heels because they can't wear a trainer realistically for their daughter's wedding and look smart. So I think the thing is like, yes, there are loads of solutions. And if you particularly want people in a low back something or a this, or there are loads of tape on, stick on, nipple daisies, cup uplifters, all sorts of things, but it depends on how smart and sharp you want that look to be. So
you don't want them fiddling as well and work like you're really feeling like they have to keep covering a strap down.
Yeah, but it's and so someone who doesn't need any underwear solutions whatsoever, I think Chloe's available to be hired, but on a day rate as a bridesmaid. So yeah. And also we all know, I mean, I don't know if we all know Chloe, like Chloe's worked with us for years. And so if you like scroll back through our Instagram feed, you'll find Chloe like inveigling our kind of feed for like about the last 8-9 years. Soon to be a bush bride as well, one hopes.
This is our pandy dress. And I think the light, I can't see, is it duck in our duck egg? I can't see which one it's duck egg or the full flower, but yeah. And this is, there we go, a bra friendly dress. We purposely cut the back so that you can, unless it is obviously a really low back dress, and actually the blue dress, the navy high, that was a fit sample. We've actually raised the back a bit higher now so that you can wear a strapless bra.
It does look really good, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's not like we don't think about this stuff all the time, because ultimately, you know, it's like feminists as we are, we're also in business. So you also need to make sure that these dresses are wearable across a range of sizes. That looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What colour is that one?
That's our hot pink.
Hot pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually is one of our best-selling colours at the moment.
Is that because of that whole, do you think, that colour clash of the pink and oranges? Like I've seen loads of weddings that I love and we featured some things where everyone's clashing the colours together really nicely. I was trying to
convince someone earlier to have, they've got a pattern and then have the hot pink with the peach. No, it looked good with the print.
And also this is like, would be like a little stealth, like if someone wanted to pick it up with their bridesmaid's dress, like, but stealthily, this high neck, like style it sells really well with us. But it's a really weird thing with like what people think is a bestseller is, because quite often if you don't see it on Instagram, it's like it never happened. And so actually there's quite a lot of brides, I'd say probably more than 50% of our brides, we never have their photos. Leah dutifully emails people all the time, again, completely, it doesn't matter what you think you look like, if you think we're the bride you want, would love to have your photos. And people sometimes, they just elect not to be on Instagram, which is like, curses to you. But so this neckline here, and the hot pink particularly, is one that sells really well with us in bridal. Hazy's Perret do this quite a lot. And so I'd say a bridesmaid's dress like that would go really well with quite a lot of that sharp, preppy JP look as well. So.
Just a small detail. This dress, for example, is cut on the bias, so it's more clingy over the hips and it fall down. This dress, and all our dresses are mixed with the skirt. This is more of a full skirt, circular skirt, so anyone that's more conscious of hips, you've got more space here. Just a little bit of detail.
Do you ever do anything with a fuller skirt, like actual full?
We haven't done as yet, no.
That's interesting. No, I just was like, no, because I'm like, there's a couple of really beautiful dresses that I like, two pieces I'm going to put on the girls for like Mother of the Bride. But you know, because I think everyone's always really scared of like the word meringue, and I'm like, I don't think you should be scared of that word. But like volume seems to be like still a kind of dirty word, but it's also quite interesting to work out whether people are still wanting to put their bridesmaids in just constantly slim dresses.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a trouser?
No. No. We've played with a lot of ideas.
Okay, and then you're like,
every time we try and do something a bit out there, the girls just want kind of more like I feel like our bridesmaids want something a bit more classic. And even with a print, we loved our print, but it was hard.
But it's quite, I mean, I think these colours are classic enough that if somebody wanted to pick up like a jumpsuit or a print from another brand, like Paris Chateau.
I shouldn't say it, but I actually quite like the look with the couple of prints and then picking up our dresses amongst. I actually like that look.
No, I think it's reasonable to do. And as I say, if some, you know, like I think that's it, you don't have to, like, as much as we would all like to have like somebody be a completely 100%. I'm having all my bridesmaids in this. I think it's really good if you can like do 2 or 3 from like Maids to Measure, and you could pick 2 or 3 from another brand, as long as the colours work well together. And I think that's what they've done so well, is pick colours that work very.
And actually, even there's colours that people pick, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. And then they send the pictures, and I'm like, there was the sage yellow and champagne. And if you look on our Instagram, you have to scroll. It looks insane. I think it looks like it was a board, but it actually looks really good. And it's not something I would have thought of straight away. I think you can really have a play around with tonal colours. Yeah.
Any other bridesmaids questions? Shall I ask anything else of anyone? People have been really good.
I know.
They've been very good. So it's like nice, easy questions. Yeah. So, right. So shall we put the girls in a couple of Mother of the Bride outfits and then like introduce Suzannah London? Yeah. Also, if anyone's got anything else, really like anything else you want to ask me about anything, it's not related to Mother of the Bride or Bridesmaids, I'm totally happy to answer as well.
And also I'm here, so if any.
Yeah. Or you can also, if you're like, don't like asking questions in public, then you can.
I'll be linked.
Yeah. So, also, question. Yeah, thank you. Be great, thank you. Right, so I'm going to introduce. Right, literally, it's like I'm going to introduce the guys from Suzannah London. So Sarah, who I've literally just. Okay, so I also said to Sarah, like this week, we had our conversation on the phone. So Sarah does the PR for Suzannah London, works very closely with Suzannah, and I was like, are you going to? There's going to be some mothers there. They're going to ask some difficult questions. Get your answers ready. And also Virginia works in the boutique. So she's like one of the stylist team that we would meet here. So I'm really looking forward to getting questions from mums particularly, or like from daughters asking questions on behalf of their mums. But Suzannah London is one of the brands that if somebody asks me, which literally every single mum that I ever see with a bride ever, or mother of the groom, or anyone in a maternal role that's my age will ask the questions about what would you do for Mother of the Bride, and it is quite tricky. We'll all agree. Yeah,
they come, we have a lot of different people, some that come in with a clear idea, and others that they come and they don't have any idea at all. and they haven't been looking for a long time. So yeah, but we have so many shapes and styles and fabrics, prints, just pastel colors. So yeah, I think we have a bit of yeah.
Do you think though, do you find like when I see a bride for the first time here, it doesn't matter how confident, beautiful and pretty and gorgeous and just astoundingly well educated and the most fabulous job ever they have, they come in here and the minute they step through the door, like something just makes them look like they want to throw up?
Yeah.
Do you find that with mothers as well?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's not just
They're
us
not
then.
super confident all the time, which
No.
we don't understand why, because then they start looking like trying on things and they look beautiful, you know. Or there are some, like, we're very honest, if something doesn't look great, we try to, you know, introduce another shape, maybe another color. So I find that.
You do that, I know. It's literally, I feel like we're kind of, I feel like, you know, I don't want to be like super political about this, but I feel like women over 50 are super underserved in general in fashion. And I think that concerns about body shape and clothes and colour and things, it's like we're, you know, I do realise that like I'm an age where my grandmother had already pretty much given up. Do you know what I mean? Where she was like, what did they used to have there? Do you remember the one heated big sock that used to sit in on a settee with a blanket and a bed jacket? Like, that was my grandmother at my age. Do you know what I mean? Oh, she would have just been having a nice Rothmans and a cup of tea as opposed to standing here in some killer. Yeah, she wouldn't have been in the shoes, no. So I'm saying it is quite a tricky thing because I actually think that quite a lot of the mums here are quite a vanguard age where we're redefining like dressing, like not just over 40 but over 50 and over 60. So do you find that as well?
Yeah, so lots of like women coming in, also they don't want like the traditional mother of the bride, mother of the groom look. They want like something a bit more sophisticated, a bit more modern,
and also unique as well. So Suzannah produces an amazing bespoke atelier collection as well. So made at her atelier, which is just behind her boutique in Marylebone. So you can create anything.
So I picked these to put the girls in because I was like, they feel very Jesus Perry to me. The statement sleeve, like they're covered. Like, and I just love the fact that they'd got volume. There's a no Spanx requirement here in any way, and a bra with 2 straps and no top arm. And I literally hate myself for saying all of this stuff in one sentence. You know, it's like that doesn't seem like right because we should be like, I don't care. I literally was watching, anybody watching the Great British Menu? Somehow I watched telly, like actual main, like telly last night. And it's Andy Oliver, isn't it? She's on there. And she was like fantastic. And she was wearing like arguably a bizarre choice of dress for hosting a cooking show, like a silver, long sleeved, sequin, asymmetric dress. She's bald, she's got fantastic eye makeup on. I was like, I don't know what we're talking about, Mother of the Bride. Well, this is the way forward. This is how you approach it. But as I say, again, it's back to that formal wear. It's back to when you have to be someone that has to be a person. You know, it's a bit like the Caitlin Moran kind of like quote I use all the time. It's like when you say you've got nothing to wear, it's about you don't have anything to wear for the person you need to be today. And when you need to be a Mother of the Bride, you need somehow to step up and be formal. And I kind of love this for this.
Yeah, this is a new one. For spring summer 2025, she started doing sets more. Before it was more just like a dress, and now she started to go more into like top and skirt.
It's a really lovely shaped sleeve as well. You see the sleeve, it's a full circular sleeve. So it's quite structured.
I mean, I basically went straight to this. I'm like, yes, me, I want that. Yeah, I want that. So, and I just think that if you're like, as a mum, if you're trying to kind of like, I'm just going to use the word vibe. No one hates me. If you're trying to vibe with the bridal party, then some of these things, you've got the low drop waist, which is kind of like directional for the new season. You've got statement sleeve, and yet at the same time, you've got total coverage and appropriateness. So it's got a lot of the kind of notes and details that we would be seeing in the bridal collection. So you're going to vibe with the bridal party, but you're also going to look age appropriate, which also I don't love that phrase, but you know, I'm still not in Peruna yet, but you know, that day might come. But you know, I think it's a really good look for that. So I was really excited to show this tonight. You got colour ranges in this?
So yeah, we have this coral pink, the eucalyptus, and it comes in a new color as well. It's like a more blush. It's in between a peach and a pink. Yeah, yeah.
Right, mums. Anybody got a question? Oh, come on, give me the questions, mothers. I want to hear from you. Joe, Talik. Come on, Mog to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the outfit. But I'm short, and that's the issue. I think that looks absolutely stunning, and I would choose that, and then I would put it on, and it wouldn't look right.
Can I just say?
What would you do for short?
Yeah, there's a really, really good outfit there. Like on the back row, like second wardrobe, second one in from the left. There was a great little shawl collar dress, really little fit and flare dress, which was really, really good. The trouble is, so these girls were too tall for it. And it looked like a sort of school skirt length, and they looked daft in it. So the viola dress, I'd say that one, yes. Can we just bring it up here? I could put one of them in it, and then you'd be like, But where's Charlie?
It's really lovely to go down the front.
Right, okay, Charlie, can you go and put that on for me? Like, Charlie is like...
That was a job description.
Yeah, it's fine. I feel like job description. What is that about these days? What is kind of broad? So I'm just going to put her on. Charlie is like 23, and so completely underage for pretty much any. I mean, we do get some brides that are 23. And I am a little bit like, are you marrying Kanye or what? Do you know what I mean? So, but I am just going to like get her in this because she's shorter, and I think she's like will look great in it. But it looked really. I put it on. I was in my mind. It was like exactly what I was going to put on one of the girls. It's got like a nice little fit. It's very easy to wear. It's got a great shoulder, great arm coverage. But they were just like these girls are like 5'11", so you can put more difficult stuff on them. And I know I always say to people, it's like we're questioned quite often about why we choose certain models. I'm like, tall is easy. You can put anything on tall. Little, you can, it's all about proportion. Your fashion is always that. So you can just work with that. So if I would say, like, if I was talking to any petite mother of the bride, I would be like, the reason why I'm struggling in these shoes tonight, I was like, one of the things I would say to mothers is buy a hero piece. So the hero piece is my Prada shoes, which they would be much more comfortable if I'd ever worn any heels since my hip replacement. I know, right? So I'm literally vibing with every mother. So like, I think that I would buy like a not so expensive dress. I'd probably buy a more expensive handbag, more expensive shoes, because I'm quite a difficult figure to dress. I've got really big boobs, classic kind of like post-menopause, like male pattern weight gain. So for me, like trying to be sexy is like, that was like last year's news, do you know what I mean? Maybe 10 years ago news. So I would say that I would go for a hero piece, but I think what I'm putting on Charlie is a really perfect, it's quite a cool little dress for someone that's quite petite. So that's what I would, is she coming?
Can I ask quite a rude question?
Yeah, go rude.
How much are we talking? Because I really like it.
Yeah, the price of this.
Well, yeah, very roughly.
So together,
it can be either together or it can be also bought separately. It's around 1.5, 2,000 the whole outfit, yeah. But the price range is that like between 1,000 and of course if you want bespoke on like it's more like towards like 7.
Yeah, entry price point is $350.
Yeah.
And then you go into ready to wear, which is $850. Slightly more expensive. Then you're going into the atelier bespoke pieces, which are obviously custom, so that it depends on the fabric, etc. So they're slightly higher.
So my point of view in this is like, like if I actually brought a child to maturity, so like, okay that they could get married, I'd be like, yeah, I'm just treating myself. I am treating myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, so, yeah. Got one of my actual offspring there. So I'm like, I'm treating myself. It's like, I would say, you know, like when they have that whole kind of like diamond kind of thing, and like you should spend a month's salary on an engagement ring or something like that. I'm basically like, I think I'm worth at least as much as the bride. That's my kind of like, that is my thing. It's like, so but I think that because shopping for like people, does it look nice?
Yeah, maybe it does.
It looks slightly snug, but yeah, it's like, it's tiny. Yeah, but that's a much better length on the, so that kind of thing I just thought was very like pretty. You've got that little cute collar thing. And it's definitely doing the royals go to Balmoral, which is what I love in like smart smart dressing. But it was definitely like the waist was this is sitting in a much better place on the waist and the shoulders for you than it was on the other girls who are like a couple of inches taller than you.
And it covers the top of your arms as well, obviously. It's covering the top of your arms
Yeah.
as well here, isn't it? So
Yeah, so it's got a little.
good option.
But it is like, this is a tiny sample size, so just FYI, this is like, well, like job description. Oh yeah, like job description, then we're talking about that now. I don't mean model, it's like, say your job description, drink all the wine. So, yeah, so I do actually think that this is like, gives a much better idea of what a petite shape would look better, because you don't have that drop waist and that cropped boxy top, which I love, but probably needs a bit of a longer torso to take that. Whereas I think this one with a little fit and flare gives the age, and again, like bras and all that kind of stuff is very kind of easy to wear with this. And also like quite a lot. So I don't know if the mobs and the mogs in the room know that quite often at the moment the brides are changing. So there's a formal day look until about 9:30, 10. And then I think this is quite driven by Instagram and driven by quite a lot of influencers. So take that as you will. But there's quite a lot, if people are having a very long, late party, there's quite a formal look up to about 10, 10:30. And then there's an optional second look. So a little bit more of a dance floor look. So this again is something that I don't want to sound rude, but I love this, but you wouldn't want to see someone on a dance floor on this. It would just look silly. So I think this would be something that if you were doing a church wedding, a formal drinks reception, formal like something, you'd maybe do the first dance and go off and change into a little disco ball number from that. But yes, thank you. Little party number, but it is quite formal. But like, you know, so it is quite formal. Right, okay, more questions from mothers. No, I literally know there was more questions from mums. Give me someone. Right, go, someone, literally.
What do you think about hairstyling? Do you think just
What, for mothers?
blow dry, or do you think it should be more?
Oh, hat hair. Oh my God, hat hair's such a thing. Have we got our hairdresser here somewhere? Hat hair. What do mums think about hat hair? What are we thinking with mums and hats at the minute? Is it a thing? Is it not a thing?
Yeah, so I think with mum and the bridal room with hair, you have to really think about the longevity of the style, and also if you're wearing a hat, actually up works far better than like, you know, maybe something to the side or a low bun than a blow dry. A blow dry really is never going to last you the whole day. It is where you need some kind of like structure in there to be able to take you through the whole day. It's quite traditional to have a blow dry. It does still look like kind of like effortless, but it won't last right through until the evening.
Especially if you're in the north, in the Lake District, where there is unpredictable weather. That's all I'm saying. Just so it's like, that's not a guarantee. I mean, it's a low kind of like, you know, like mist level, but you know, you just, so we're going to blow dry. I've never seen you in anything else but a blow dry.
No, I know. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Izzy thinks it will be raining. That's what we have it for me.
Maybe you could get one of those lovely brolly hats.
Saying that though, like if you have obviously got short hair, the option isn't to have it up. Do you know what I mean? So with that, it's more about the prep and making sure that you maybe have some rollers in there and things like that. That will last. But just asking, if you go and ask your hairdresser for a standard blow dry, that's not what you want. You have to ask, you know, for some kind of like actual styling, use some hot tools in it. Then that will definitely last. But yeah, just a normal blow dry will drop. Yeah.
And we, like on just a basic percentage level, mothers in hats these days, is that a thing?
I'd say less mothers in hats.
Oh.
There's more like headpieces. Yeah. I've seen some great bands, some really good
Oh, we have that really good band somewhere, which I've put down and I've lost.
Yeah, they're lovely, and also the kind of like the box hats as well. Yeah. They I haven't seen as many hats, but more statement pieces in the hair.
Yeah, all the mothers that come in like to match a lot with the outfit. So yeah, either like a tilly hat with some flowers, like same color as the outfit, or yeah, like a pillbox as you were saying, either straw for spring, summer, or felt like autumn, winter. Yeah, but lots of matchy, like everyone loves this. So our milliners they dye match their products to our pieces. So that's also a nice service to have. Yeah.
Yeah, there is that. I did for my own wedding. I had a headpiece by Rachel Trevor Morgan, who you work with quite a lot.
Yes.
So it's like did a lot of the Queen's hats, obviously. So it's so me, so traditional. But it is really interesting to see that you can dye feathers any colour, so they can be like perfectly matched to the. But again, I would say like with a mum outfit. This is why I would say it's like think about what's important to you in that kind of thing, whether it's the dress. And if you're like have a somewhat more difficult figure to dress like me, then maybe then the money goes on the hat and the shoes and less on the dress. Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, where are you going to invest in a kind of like a really beautiful, like shift dress that can be then, you know, dressed up, dressed down forevermore. It's really about kind of where you put that emphasis, whether it goes onto a hat. I mean, obviously, clearly, if any of my children ever get married, more will definitely be more. I will be literally like just like waltzing. You know, I would be like definitely dramatic. Daphne Guinness will have nothing on me. I'm literally going straight down there in vintage McQueen couture or something. But yeah, well, I'm Zempic first and then the McQueen. So it's like no, only just for the clothes, and then we'll go straight back on the booze after. But you know, it is really quite a tricky. I think it's quite a tricky place to be mother of the bride in like and where you've got to like be yourself. But also, like you're also again a bit part player in the couple story, really.
What do we think in terms of mother of the bride and bridesmaids? Should there be some synergy?
Yeah, I feel there should be. If you're going to be photographed in the same picture, yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were going to say give a shit.
No. I think there should be an energy that's matching. But it's like
because I have seen people come in and we've done the bridesmaids and then the mother of the bride shows me their outfit and I'm like, oh.
I think there should be like an energy, like not. It should be like a jazz ensemble. I think you should all be going in the same direction, but not playing the same notes. Which I hate jazz as well. So for me to honour jazz in that way, it's really like tragic. But yeah, I don't think it needs to be so matched. But I think if you're like having a formal wedding, and I'm shocked sometimes when I see people turn up to weddings. I'm like, that is not appropriate wear for a church. Yeah. I think if the couple have decided they want to have a faith-based wedding, then everybody has to show up in something that looks appropriate for that, to respect the traditions of that like place. Whether I think that that's the only way to get married, no, I don't. No, I'd literally love to have a goth hand fasting where everybody lets blood and everyone's wearing kind of like, like skulls on the head. That would also be fabulous. But if your mother turned up in a kind of Suzannah London with a hat, you'd be like, all right, I think you've lost your way. So I think it's more about the energy of the day and the kind of the kind of way that couple have set their tone for the day. And I think your mum has to slightly like step in line with that, but you can't. What I'm saying is, so it's not like no, you don't all have to match. We'll have to be on the same color palette. But I think that kind of, I think the same. I think, and that might be difficult for some mums. They might not necessarily feel comfortable or approve of that, match union way of getting married, or it may seem very different or alien to the way that they got married or what their traditions are or their faith says. But I think you just get on board with it. And I think, try and understand it. And I think that's like a really important, that's more than, oh my God, I feel like I'm in the Bella Freud podcast now. Okay, there is this like fashion neurosis. And I literally, it's so true. When you overthink fashion and clothes and choice is so hard. And I think you can get into that. But I do think at least you need to kind of be in that same space. And if the bride really loves and respects their clothes and fashion, it really says something about them. You just don't turn up in a t-shirt. That thing is what I'm thinking.
We have a lot of brides coming in and with their mothers, obviously choosing a mother of the bride outfit, but then they come in and choose a lovely tea dress for the brides, all matching together as well. So sorry for the bridesmaids. Sorry.
Yeah.
So there is some synergy between the mother of the bride and the
Yeah, I
bridesmaids.
think it's like, I think that way like speaks of like good family, like harmony from here point. It's like sometimes I'm literally with the like if there's any mothers of grooms here, Jill, just looking at you. I was like, sometimes if like brides come in the mother of groom, I'm like, put your foot down now. Start here. Your rules, new family, like let her know the point of view. Because I think that is it's a very big mixing pot of all of those things coming together, and clothes is that kind of first expression of that. So, oh my God, I'm like so podcast. I think I'm going to lose the audience. Somebody get me off stage now. Right, does anybody? Oh, okay, good.
So on that note, would you say the mother of the bride and mother of the groom should also kind of have a bit of a synergy and
I think if you like the fashion stylist in me is like, yes, please, can we not all clash horribly in the photos? And I'm always like, again, I like defer always to the royals at Sandringham at Christmas, all walk to the church in a nice coat. You're all going to look together. It's like, there is a way, it's like bridesmaids, I'm always thinking girl bands, kind of like elder members of the family. I'm thinking royals, make sure that for your balcony shot, you all don't, someone's not being very like, it's all about me. Georgie, where is Georgie? I'm going to literally throw her mother under the bus. Georgie's like, oh yeah, my mum went to my wedding in a wedding dress. So she like literally did. And I was like, did she not get the kind of notes that you don't go to your daughter's wedding in an ivory dress? Yeah. So I think that like generally speaking, I think again it comes down to that tone. It doesn't mean that you all have to be like completely different on a different playbook. But I think at some point, I think you could, you can be yourself within quite a definite kind of like, I think it's about respecting the couple and their choices. And if they've chosen to have a very informal beach wedding, or if they've chosen to have a, like traditional wedding, then I think you respect their choices. And I think as a mother, I feel like my children would always have a really outrageous choice, and I'd love to kind of like beat them at it. But I would always say that I would like try and meet that kind of level. So are you all looking at my son, seeing what he's doing? Yes. And his girlfriend? Not awkward at all, right? So yeah, I would always like try and like say that I think is important. So I think it's also a really nice opportunity for a mother of a bride and a mother of groom to get together and like, create a dialogue. And then you've got that thing like boys do, when they're trying to be bros. Now, do you see the game? It's like the same thing. You get that opportunity to go, oh, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit playgroundy, but I think it's like quite a nice opportunity to bring them together. And I quite often see like mothers of groom and brides together here. They don't know each other that well. And it is that point where you're like actually bringing families together and trying to get them to kind of see that. Yeah. So pity the people that marry any one of my children. They'll be like, what do you think about weddings? Well, let me give you some thoughts then. Anyone else? Welcome, Laura. Hello, I saw you slide in at the back there. So we all should just have some more cocktails and put some music on now, and then you can all ask us things separately. Yes, I think so. Just going to see what banger Simon's going to put on then. It's like, if we're all done, I'm going to get like, we can do. You get that recorded? Oh, yay, go us. We're almost like professional now. Like, we're going to be goal hanger soon. The rest is bridal. Lovely. Well, okay, thank you for your attention, guys. We're still going to be serving like drinks and things like that, music, and we're all here, and you know who we are. The girls can put on any other things that you want to put on, choose some stuff if you want to see them do that, and then just, we're here. If you want to get us individually for anything. Oh, my feet.
You'd like to know, wouldn't you? You'd like to know, wouldn't you?